Well, we are in our second week of Soup's Timber. We hope you enjoyed our last video counting down our top 10 Superpowers Superman variants we'd like to see in the McFarlane Superpowers line. And today we are going to be tier ranking our favorite live action Superman. And Chris, you mentioned before we started recording, most people only recognize 11. How many do we have?
We've got 14.
14. We have 14.
You guys are going to love our reasonings why, too.
100%, 100%. We also include Superboy, so people who have played Superboy in live action as well. So we've got some names to get through on this one, so we're going to jump right in. We also recognize that our ranking won't be everyone's cup of tea, so we have included a link to the tier maker with all of the pictures and everything like that in the description, so you can go make your own perfect tier.
And in our just BSing fashion, we do not have the standard tier ratings that others channels do. So we're gonna do our standards of so good, good, not BS, BS, and of course, total BS.
All right, we can go ahead and jump into our tier here, and we will start with, who do we have up first? We weren't sure if we were going to include this guy because, you know, we haven't really seen him in action yet, but we figured he was on everyone else's list, so we would go ahead and throw him on ours and just kind of, these are our initial reactions based on the look and what we've seen so far. Obviously, we need to see a trailer or some live action footage to really get a feel for it.
And then this tier may get updated
And this tier will definitely get updated, yeah. So we have David Corenswet up first. You know, it's not fair to rank him either bad or good. I'm kind of leaning towards just kind of putting him in the middle at not BS.
That's 100% what I would say as well.
We will throw him at not BS if I can get him up there. All right. Next we have Mr. Brandon Routh, and this is the promotional shot from Superman Returns. I kind of prefer his Kingdom Come look in the CW verse though, but his just Brandon Routh as Superman overall. What are you thinking?
So good, man.
You think so good?
Yeah, I liked him a lot. I thought he did fantastic in Superman Returns, and then Kingdom Come Superman, another fantastic job. So yeah, so good for me.
So I was thinking good myself, but I wouldn't be upset to put him in so good. I also really like him, but some of our other choices that are probably going to end up in so good, not sure he's quite there for me anyway.
Yeah, I'm happy to do a good compromise with that. Yeah,
okay.
Like I said, I liked him a lot, so I think he should have had more chances to play Superman. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good with good.
We're good with good. We're good with good. We're gonna go good. All right, next we have, this is our first Superboy on the list, but the actual second Superboy in the show. This is Gerard Christopher, who played Superboy in the probably not well remembered series. I know a lot of our viewers remember it, so I'm not too worried about you guys remembering it, but not a lot of people remember this. I happen to love it. I have it on DVD. So this is the Superboy I think of because he played it longer.
Right.
He was the second Superboy who played, I think he was on for 3 seasons, I
believe it was 3 as well, yep.
Yeah, so most of my memories of the show include him. So for me, I think he's in good territory as well.
Yeah, I got to place him there. Almost the exact same reasonings.
Yeah.
Actually didn't even remember the other Superboy till we were doing this list.
Oh, and now we got this goober here. This is David Patrick Wilson, and most of you are probably like, who the hell is this jabroni? This guy was like, I think it was based on like a Broadway show, but they did a TV show long before we were born. This was in the 70s. We've seen the clips though. Leslie Ann Warren played Lois Lane though, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was
Leslie
cool.
Ann Warren.
I forgot about that until you just now mentioned it.
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty awful. It was pretty awful. It's funny, like in a cheesy sense though. So if you haven't checked it out, it's all over YouTube. You can find it. I think it's called "It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman," if I remember right. But David Patrick Wilson, it's a total BS, I think. Yeah. But it's like one of those so bad it's good. You got to go check it out just for the heck of it.
And you got to give him credit because he plays Superman.
He did play Superman.
That's why he is one of ours that is on this list.
This is not someone most people put on their list, guys, probably for good reason, but we're not most people, so we got him. All right, next we got Dean Cain from Lois and Clark fame, the 90s Superman show. I always really liked his portrayal of Superman and Clark, really. I thought he played both really well, even though there wasn't a whole lot of a distinction between them like Christopher Reeve did. I really love the show. It's another one that I own all of the seasons of on DVD. For me, he's probably, like, looking back, it wasn't that great, but I still like it. I'm leaning not BS good.
Yeah, I'd lean along those lines. For me, since it was in the 90s, it was very still nostalgic. But I remember it was fantastic. I haven't really rewatched it since like the early 2000s. But I'm leaning more on the good side.
You're on the good side? Mm-hmm. I'll do good. I'll do good. Dean Cain goes in good. All right. And now we have George Reeves. I have very fond memories of watching the old Adventures of Superman series on Nick at Night when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Really like his portrayal. Another one that didn't put a whole lot of distinction between Clark and Superman, but played both of them very well.
George, was that first Superman that I really watched of. I recorded every episode. I was watching them all the time. Got a Superman plate with them from Nick at Night. Yeah.
Oh, that's the commemorative plates. I remember they used to sell those. That's cool.
We may be doing a bit of a Q&A with your Just BSing guys, so maybe I'll bring that and show that off.
That would be great. Everybody. That would be great. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But yeah, I kind of want to give him So Good.
I 100% want to give him So Good.
Let's do So Good. He's our first So Good Superman in this list. Oh, now, this one's got to be a So Good, too. Now, this is the best Superman that's ever been on screen. Mr. Bill Murray from Saturday Night Live.
And yes, it counts. He actually played Superman.
Played Superman in live action for about 5 minutes. Which
is why you don't see on this list, we do not have Ben Affleck because he did not play Superman.
He played George Reeves.
He played George Reeves.
That's correct.
But Bill Murray actually played Superman.
He did play Superman, and John Belushi played a heck of a Hulk. So
yeah, he did.
this was a great sketch, guys. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend you go and check this one out. It was really funny. This was back in the heyday of Saturday Night Live. Was this the 70s or the 80s? I don't remember when this one actually aired.
I think this had to be probably late 70s.
I think. Yeah,
because I don't think he was on it during the Ghostbuster era.
I believe you're correct. Yep. So definitely go check this sketch out. It was he doesn't play Superman well. He's definitely a total BS, but it was really, you know what? I'm actually going to put him in BS.
I said I want to give him BS.
I'm going to give him a BS. He's definitely not as bad as David Patrick Wilson. Oh, well, now, if there's any doubt where this one goes, you guys just don't watch the channel very, very often. This is Christopher Reeve, best Superman ever as far as I'm concerned thus far. Easy So Good for me.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that. I mean, we don't even have to really talk about him because we've talked about him enough.
I've got the Hot Toys, Superman.
The Hot Toys.
In fact, in that pose.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So yeah, he's 100% So Good.
So good.
And, just how awesome Christopher was, even continuing playing a Superman-ish type role in Smallville afterwards. So.
All right, now we have another one. This, of course, a divisive Superman. A lot of people love him. A lot of people hate him. This is Henry Cavill. We're on the, love him side. We really liked his portrayal of Superman. I think he's so good.
I was going to say, he's going on So Good.
He's going. If I had said anything other than So Good, Chris probably would have beat me up in the middle of this video. All right, armbar.
No armbar.
That's an inside joke we'll explain at some point. All right, and now we have the other Superboy. This is John Newton, and this was the first Superboy, so he played in the first season only. I actually really liked his portrayal. I did go back and watch an episode because I really couldn't remember before, like I said, all of my memories were mostly of Gerard Christopher. I just kind of vaguely remembered that there was someone else before that. So I did go back and watch an episode, and I think he brought just like a different take on it, a little more like sure of himself, kind of almost cocky, but like clearly just the memories aren't there as much as they are for Gerard Christopher. So I'm kind of leaning not BS for me just because of the Gerard kind of stands out more in my mind as that quintessential Superboy from the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, I'm going to lean more on you for this one because I do not remember him at all. So.
Yeah, we'll go not BS. It was definitely not a bad performance. I think he probably could have done. I would actually like to see more of what he could have done. Would be interesting. But yeah, I just he didn't get a chance to portray it as much, and all my memories are around Gerard. So got to go with not BS. And now we have Tom Welling, who played, and I know a lot of people are like, he didn't play Superman. He did for just a little bit. And he played, I mean, it's essentially Superman for about half the seasons in Smallville.
I mean, he's got the jacket in this picture.
He's got the jacket in this
with
picture.
the Superman logo.
Yep. And when he did portray Superman, it was kind of the Brandon Routh costume, with a little superimposed yellow S on the back, which I always appreciated. I loved that they added that yellow S on the back of his cape. I love Smallville. I know you love Smallville. There were some janky seasons in there, as there are for any TV show that runs, 10 seasons or more. Loved his portrayal at it. I'm good bordering so good for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably just say good,
I'll go good
for him.
I'll go good.
Reason being is just because he was, the Blur. He didn't.
He was the Blur.
He was the Blur. He didn't get to really portray Superman for that long. So some of the other characters that we have on here played Superman longer than he did.
This is true.
So while I loved Smallville, loved Tom Welling as Clark Kent, and the Blur, wasn't quite high enough in my opinion to give him a so good for Superman rating. But if it was just pure,
if it was just the show, the show would be a so good. Yeah, I agree with that. In fact, in you saying all of that, I'm kind of wondering if we should move him into not BS.
Honestly, I was thinking between good and not BS, but after you were saying so good, it wanted me just to give him the good rating.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well. Now, maybe I'm skewed a little bit too, because the comic series of Smallville has also been very good, and you get to see more of technically Tom Welling as Superman. But on the show, live action, you're right, he didn't really portray Superman that much. I said before we started recording we weren't going to rank within the categories here, but I'm actually going to move him up to the top now. Just out of principle, because he was very, very close for me.
I love it. That's a good call.
All right, now we have Kirk Allen, who the first live action Superman. I think he was the first. There may have been others that did some serials or something like that before him, but this is who's usually recognized as the first live action Superman. I never really saw much of Kirk Allen, obviously, well before our time, and they didn't play anything of his on Nick at Night and stuff when we were growing up. It was always George Reeves. I have seen his performance, and I did think it was very good. I think he was a really stern, powerful type of Superman, but it was not bad by any means. So I'm kind of in the not BS territory for me.
I'm 100% in the not BS, and the thing I did like about his performance is they hadn't even figured out a way to make Superman fly.
Right.
So what did they do?
They animated him.
They animated him, and I thought that was really cool.
It was actually very cool.
Being able to do that. But you said the actual portrayal of Superman, other than flying, was fantastic with him. But yeah, I'm in that not BS range just because, when you do think back about Superman, it's been long enough where he kind of falls off, you just, people don't remember the guy, unfortunately.
There's people right now yelling at you because they're like, I love Kirk Allen, he's my favorite Superman, and guys totally understand that, especially if you kind of grew up with that and that was your first exposure to it, kind of essentially Christopher Reeve was for us. So again, that's why we're putting this link to the tier maker down there for you guys, so you can put him where you think he deserves to go. For us, again, not a bad performance whatsoever. Very, very easily a not BS for us. Ooh, and I love the picture.
I know, this is a great one.
So it is Nicolas Cage, and people will say, well, he was CGI, but he technically did film some of those shots, and they just superimposed some CGI over him. Mm-hmm. So he did get a chance to portray Superman in live action. Lots of screen tests out there from when he was actually going to be Superman back in the 90s with the Tim Burton suit. Yeah. What do we think about Nicolas Cage as Superman?
Well, I'll tell you what, this picture, even when you look at it, this CGI is worse than his screenshots.
It really is. It really is.
I thought it was really cool, though, that they actually got to do that.
It was a nice nod.
It was a great nod to it. Yeah. So overall, it was still really cool. Nicolas Cage getting to be Superman for 15, 20 seconds. But you know what? Bill Murray played Superman longer.
He did. He did. So you know what? On principle, Nicolas Cage got to go into total BS.
There you go.
Got to go into total BS. It would have been interesting to see what in the 90s, what his take on Superman would have been. That was, Nicolas Cage was riding high in the 90s with, things like Con Air and Leaving Las Vegas and doing really well. And his quality of performances now is vastly different than what we saw. Well, maybe not that different. I think he's leaning into more of the camp side of things now. So I would have liked to have seen his portrayal in the 90s to see what it actually would have turned into, fighting giant spiders and whatnot, but,
I would have liked to have seen it now. When I heard about it in the 90s, it was a definite no way.
You didn't want him. You didn't want him.
You didn't want him. Now, I would.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, when I first heard about that, I was like, what? All right, back to the list. Last one on our list is Tyler Hoechlin from Superman and Lois. Man, I'm loving what he does on that show. I think probably from a TV show standpoint, my favorite Superman on any of the TV shows
100%.
so far. In fact, pretty close to one of my favorite Supermen, just period. Just the way he acts. Now, when he was first introduced in Supergirl, I had reservations. They kind of had him a little bit weaker than I think he should have been, and the suit wasn't that great. But man, in Superman and Lois, he's got some killer suits. He even had the Fleischer suit, which was awesome. He did a great job on that one.
Yeah, for me, it was kind of the same. Yeah, they had Supergirl, obviously more powerful than Superman because that was,
it was her show.
It was her show.
So it made sense.
I liked his outfit, his costume.
Did you?
Yeah, in
Man,
Supergirl.
I did not like that one on Supergirl.
I thought it was kind of a nice little change, nice little update to it, and then they've done him dirty for so much in Superman and Lois with his costume, basically giving him all that extra padding in his muscle, and the dude does not need it.
Well,
so now, though, here at the end of the show, they actually got rid of that stuff.
I was going to say,
the suits look great.
Yeah, the suits look, so it's gotten progressively better,
Yeah.
but that first season, he did have small head syndrome going on because they had so much padding on that suit. The suit itself, though, it looked nice.
But he
the
still
colors and
portrayed
everything.
Superman really awesome, too. So for me, he's so good.
God bless you, sir. That's where I was heading with it. Whoa, what happened there? Where do you go? There he is. Yeah, definitely putting him on. So good. All right, that's our 14 Superman and Superboys. That's how we rank them. Guys, again, we know this is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. So hit that tier maker link in the description and give us your ideal tier here. And again, I know I said I wasn't going to do this, but I have to move Christopher Reeve up there to the top. Sorry, George. But get out of the way, George. George don't want to move.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah. Just out of principle again. Got to do that. All right, guys. Again, let us know your tier rankings in either in a comment or make the tier rank. Hit us up on Instagram. Hit us up on email. Definitely want to see those. Want to talk to you about them. Keep an eye out the rest of this month. We got some more very cool Soups Timber content on the way. And again, we do hope that we can see the Christopher Reeve documentary that's coming out at the end of the month. Hoping that plays in a theater near us so that we're able to share our thoughts with you in Soups Timber. If not, we'll do that in Soups October or November. Some other time in the near future before the end of the year, we will definitely watch that and let you guys know what we thought of it. So with that, guys, that's the end of our video. We hope you enjoyed our tier ranking. We hope you're enjoying Soups Timber. If you're liking things like the themed months and things like that, let us know down below as well so that we can start planning for some other ones. We already have a couple of more ideas in mind for ones that we can do in the future, but definitely want to hear your input on that as well. So until next time, guys.
Have a great one.